going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now.
Jimothy.
So ladies and gents, oh my days, Kashtira are doing what now? It's crazy. So I've been trying to investigate some of the decks that I could potentially use if I do actually make it to any events coming for, well, in the next like couple of months or what have you. And I'm typically leaning more towards rogue, and I've mentioned this previously in another video that I don't really want to invest in too many cards or invest in the expensive cards like bonfires and popular and all that kind of stuff before I know I'm going to be participating in any major events, because it's just going to be a waste of money basically. So I stumbled across Kashtira. Now we all know that Kashtira Heat Soul's been doing bits and pieces. I can't remember the guy's name. He went back-to-back regionals. I was actually there at that regional, but I didn't stay for long though. Guinness X2 Guinness and drop, but I was at a regional in Birmingham in the United Kingdom, and Kashtira won it, and then he went on to win another regional again in a row, which was absolutely crazy. So we went 16-0 with Kashtira. Now he was playing Kashtira Heat Soul, which does obviously facilitate a lot of combo. You do run into nib with it, which you typically didn't do so too much before, but it was a very, very powerful strategy. However, Kashtira are now doing something a lot more degenerate, so to speak. Along with playing shifter, along with the ability to go first, it's still also doing a few things which are a little bit horrible. Now this is a deck list that I've kind of like devised myself, so I'm just going to run through it quickly, and then I'm going to leave you with a replay of what it actually does and what it's looking to achieve. So I've got one Kashtira Ogre. Again, this is probably a nice one-off. It's one of the biggest. It's actually my favorite Kashtira monster just because it's the biggest one. I like monsters with big attack for some reason. Triple Kashtira Unicorn. This is part of your quote-unquote 2-card combo, which allows you to kind of like just stop your opponent from playing a game of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is always fun, but it's a hallmark of a strong deck basically, whether that be through the number of negates that it puts up or just putting up some kind of like floodgate or something that just stops your opponent from playing. It's going to be a very, very powerful deck. Think Calamity's Lock or even True King of all Calamities. Like anything that can resolve that card inherently was a good deck, just because that card literally says you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh. Triple Fenrir, again, this is you'll see this in most lists. Any list that can facilitate Fenrir will. So yeah, Fenrir, and this is actually where its home is anyway. So Triple Fenrir goes without saying. One Scareclaw Kashtira. I was thinking about playing this at 2. But 1 seems to be enough. It's easily recurable, and you want to get some things into rotation before you actually get a hold of this card, which is important. Triple Dimension Shifter, the format destroying card. I've seen so many people complain about it. They get really, really pent up about the fact that somebody's resolving Shifter, but it's no different from putting up 8 negates or 8 interruptions. Yes, it can potentially be played through, but without some kind of like blowout card, like the chance of you doing that is just it's so slim. It's just crazy. And then Triple Rise Heart. Triple Ash Blossom, again, just staple in this format. 1 Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. The reason I put this in is because of this card right here, Dimension Shifter. Ghost Mourner obviously is a another type of effect veiler slash infinite impermanence. However, it just needs to be discarded. Doesn't necessarily have to be sent directly to the graveyard. So if I do actually see this and Shifter in hand, then can actually go ahead and just like play both of them basically. It's also a level 3 tuner, which then helps out with some of the cards that we got in our extra deck. 1 Ghost Bow. This is just a nod to the format. Labyrinth for running around. Obviously Snake Eyes are running around, so having Ghost Bow is nice. I'm not too sure what the ratio should be on Ghost Bow, but nonetheless it's in there. Double Joel and Lockbird. I know there's a bit of confliction with Shifter, but you've got to kind of like think about which one's going to be the most impactful. I'd argue that Shifter would be, especially in this format when most meta decks are going to be using some kind of like fire strategy, which is centered around the graveyard. Shifter's probably arguing the more impactful one. However, Droll is still impactful, and you need this card in your deck for some like random rogue matchups, or if you come headfirst into a collision course with Vanadium, you need Droll in hand. So Droll is also a nice option. Triple Theosis, yeah, it just goes without saying. You could actually drop this to 2 because you can actually brick on this at times, but I've just gone with the 3 just because this is an experimental build, ladies and gents. If you think of any ways to kind of like make this list a little bit more refined, definitely get at me in that comment section below. Triple Pot of Prosperity. There's no real major conflictions with this card as well as the rest of the deck because you don't draw a ton. but it just increases the consistency of your deck. You need to see starters, whether that be like Wraith Solf, whether that be like Unicorn, or even just like taking into like a Kashtira Birth. You need to be able to go ahead and do that, and Pot of Prosperity allows you to do so. One Call by the Grave, just Call by the Grave. I want my players to go through, and Droll is definitely a card you need to be wary of, ladies and gents. I've seen Fire King, Snake Eye main deck 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird just because they know how impactful it is against some of the other strategies out there. So you do need Call by the Grave at your disposal whenever it is available to you. Triple Kashtira Birth, this is again what facilitates the 2-card combo, so to speak. So definitely a strong card right there. Triple Wraith Solf, which goes without saying. I was actually playing Terraforming, but then I thought to myself, I'm playing into Droll, so if I don't see off Prosperity, or if I do resolve Prosperity, I'd rather do that first than actually play a Terraforming and then just get Drolled on it and have a dead Prosperity in my hand. So I decided to drop the Terraforming and just go with the 3 Wraiths off. Triple Infinite Impermanence, again, goes without saying. Triple Kashtira Preparations, this actually allows you to play. If you can manipulate your graveyard in any way, and especially with like Shifter, you need a way to kind of like recur some resources, and this can actually just grab Kashtira monsters straight back out of the banished area, or banished zone, as Konami have so secretly called it on one of their card descriptions. So Preparations is nice. You can drop this. It's not necessarily to make the deck function, as it were. And then this package right here, the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, along with the Rank Up Magic, Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic launch. So you know what this card is in here for. When you see in this card, you know that it's never anything good. It's always going to be something degenerate. And when we're talking about this guy down here, Duo Dawn King Kali Yuga, you know that it's degenerate. But getting into the list, I did have a Visa Samsara in here at some point. That's why I've got Vicious Astrolaud, because I like the idea of Astrolaud, but I was trying to work out a way to search Samsara, and you can't actually do so. So this can actually literally just be taken out and be made into any other card, basically. I'd probably argue for Arthur the Earth Charmer, because every list seems to be playing Fenrir, so it might be a good idea to do so. One Baron de Fleur, you can go into this with any Kashtira monster along with any of your hand traps. Well, say any of the Ghost Girl hand traps, because they are tuners. One Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon just for the burns, a nice time card. One Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation. Again, this is just a little bit of utility in the extra deck. One number 76 Harmonizer Gradial. This can actually be a little bit of an issue, just because it kind of like it affects, well, I say it affects, it kind of like plays around some of the cards in the format with regards to like fire. So if you get a fire attribute underneath it, which is easy enough to do, especially with Rise Heart in your deck, can actually be a little bit of a problem for your opponent. Just trying to attack over it ain't gonna work. But again, what's it called? SP Little Knight's a card, so you do need to manipulate the attributes underneath this card to be able to get the most out of it. Dark and Fire are probably going to be the most prominent attributes going forward, at least over for the next couple of months anyway. One Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack, again this is for the combo. One Big Eye, bit of utility. One The Darkest Dragon Doom Rider, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce its initial name. Again, this is just for facilitating the combo. One Kashtira Shangri-Ira, you don't really need it any more than this. Like, you don't go into this that often. At times you will do. It can potentially be on the crackback, or if you've got no other line of play, you can just go into this. Again, one Scareclaw Tryhard, could literally be anything else. I was messing around with some of the Scareclaw stuff. I had a couple of Visa Samsaras in here. I also had Visa Starfrost in here at one point, just because I know that you can search it. But I decided to take it out. It was a little bit bricky, so there's actually 2 slots in the extra deck that you can like manipulate, ladies and gents. One Cherubini, Ebonod the Angel Abyss. This is for your combo. One Diodorn King Kali Yuga. One Heat of the Fire Charmer. Again, you're not going to be able to make this consistently, but if you do see like Ash Blossom or even a Rise Heart, you can actually go into this before you lock yourselves into XYZ summoning. So being able to reborn a princess out your graveyard and then bring back a monster and just carry on like just combo and is really nice. So definitely a strong card right now, especially for the upcoming meta. One Celine and then one access code, and then ignore the stuff at the bottom, ladies and gents. This could literally be anything you want. I do recommend board breakers going into the next format, just because I feel like the snake eye deck does not get affected as much as you would think it would by throwing a load of hand traps at it. In fact, you're just negging yourself. I've seen the deck play through Droll, I've seen the deck play through Ash easily, even Nibiru at times. So it's worth kind of like thinking about whether or not you want board breakers in your deck. But that's the list, ladies and gents. It's not a comprehensive list, but it is something that I'm looking to put together and definitely test, because it's between this and Branded, the decks that I'm potentially going to be playing going forward. And I feel like this has got a nasty matchup against some of the combo decks that are out there, and just being able to like do what it does turn one and just lock your opponent out with Duodon, Kin Kali Yuga, and then just wipe out back row. You literally just, they're not playing the game. So that is it. I'm going to leave you with another one of the replays, ladies and gents. There's a few ways to do this combo, and the way that you're seeing it here is probably not the most efficient, but I'm still refining it. I'm still playing Branded at the moment, so this is just something that I stumbled across. So let me know in the comment section below what changes you would make to this list, and yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next one, ladies and gents. Peace.